guys, how you doing? This is Manga etc. and I'm here today to bring a review for My Hero Academia manga chapter 424. Now the chapter was titled Epilogue, but I still believe that there is one final chapter left. Chapter does end on a to be continued, and if you look on Manga Plus, there is in the schedule a chapter for next week. So I don't think we're done yet. We could have wrapped things up, all in honesty, in this chapter. So I don't know why the delay, but it's not over quite yet. So what we get within this chapter, we found that Bakugo has pretty much messed up his arms. They do offer to cut off arms and give him like fake limbs, fake arms. I forgot the actual word for it, but yeah, fake arms. But he's like, nah, I can't do that. My quirk, because this is within my palms. So therefore, if I give up my palms, I'll essentially be quirkless. So he's like, bring on the rehab. So what I think for him going forward will be like, he will be going through like some tough rehab, but he'll come out of this okay, still able to use his quirk and still possibly be like the #1 hero in the world. I've got a video on where I think everyone will be, so now has become a really good time to watch that video if you haven't already. That'll be in the end cards. But yeah, I've essentially predicted where I think everyone will lie. Now I'm wrong about Deku, but I may not be wrong about the majority. So go check that video out if you haven't. It'll be in the end cards. So yeah, so that's how we kind of actually we kick things on chapter off with the news. But if we don't care about the news, it's basically the news saying, yeah, war's over. The other heroes from other countries flew in there to just help with the cleanup. We're trying to get back to normal life, basically. So we have that bit of Bakugo, and then we flip over to the bit with Deku, where we're basically just reminded he's we essentially knew already, like, he's just got the flickers left of one for all within him, but that's told to us again. I personally thought after he finished this final fight that that would have been it, that would have been the flickers gone and you'll be properly quirkless, but not quite yet. He can still do more. However, I do think with the defeat of All for One, we are essentially going into a society that doesn't need heroes as much. I'm not going to say at all, but just as much. So the way I see things for Deku, well, I did predict that he'd be dead by the end of the series. Doesn't seem to be the case, but he can essentially go into retirement now and just live on with the flickers of one for all within him. We'll see where that leads. So Bakugo finds out this information. We can see that he's very broken about it. He's because he's essentially losing his rival right now. So that's how we kind of leave things off, and then we're kind of just shown bits and pieces of other people in the world, and we leave off with I don't want to call it a cliffhanger, but of Deku, new haircut, looking on at the school. And now, like I said, the title of the chapter was titled Epilogue, but I don't think it's over yet. I think we've got another chapter, and I feel like within the next chapter we're going to get a flash forward. So a flash forward, say a couple of years, and essentially it will be kind of like what my video will be about, finding out where the end of series, where the main cast is at the end of the series, because this can't be the last chapter, because we don't really, within the last chapter you'd expect to, at least at the very bare minimum, see where Class A leaves off. And in this chapter we only see Bakugo, Deku, Shoto, Yorako was in there as well. I know they're the most important, but essentially you'd assume you'll see the whole class. So I think next chapter we'll see a flash forward, see how Hero Society is now with less villains, and then I do believe we'll see all of like the cast that grew up with Deku's Deku. So Class 1A, Class 1B, people that we ran into during the provisional license arc, and there's the big three as well. Definitely see where they're at. That's what I feel like next chapter will be about, and also learning who essentially is now the top 10 heroes in Japan, and that's where I feel like we'll leave things off. So that will happen on the next chapter, and then it'll be on the series. So like, especially because we had a break last week, I don't see why the mangaka is stretching this out. He could have just made this chapter extra long and just finished things off this week, and let's leave it at that. So essentially, this could still be the last chapter, and if it is, I feel like it's a very meh way to finish off the series. So I'm gonna give this chapter a 2-star rating. And like, well, guys, I'm asking for your thoughts and opinions. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. But most importantly, take care. Have a nice day.